Hello, I want to share with you why using credit cards is harmful to your financial wellness. My husband and I, we have certainly used credit cards. We've had many of them, everything from Amex to Visa to MasterCard to all different types of store credit cards. Not that we've used all of these at one time or every month, we certainly did not. But I want to share with you why it's harmful to use them. We stopped using our credit cards in 2017. That's when we eliminated all of our non-mortgage debt and we started using cash and debit for all purchases. So I know that may sound weird. How do you get by on life without using a credit card? And that's what I want to share with you today. It is possible. You may be thinking it's impossible. How would I do that? I charge everything from food to clothing to school supplies to major purchases like repairs to my home or medical bills, car repairs. But I'd like to teach you how you can get by without using a credit card. So let's talk about cash versus plastic. When you walk into a store and you have one of these credit cards versus walking in with cash, it's a very different feeling. Your purchase power, what you decide to buy, is very different. So, for example, my TJ Maxx credit card, I used to spend $200 and get a $10 reward. And I loved it. I would go into the store, I would buy things we needed for our family or gifts or, any kind of thing that popped off the shelf and looked at me. It was like, you need this in your home, and I would buy it. Well, once I switched from using credit, because it's very easy to walk into a store, say, well, I'll buy now, pay later, and it's not that big of a deal, to when you walk into the store with cash and say, what can I get for this $100 that I'm bringing into TJ Maxx, for example? Well, your decisions really change. Is it something that you really need or want? Is it something that's useful for your family? Is it something that you kind of like and you think you're going to fit into it, so you buy it and you keep it in your closet, and then the tags stay on it for months and months and months. So when you walk into the store with cash, it's, let's say, $100. What do I want to spend this $100 on? I chose to take this money into this store. What do I want to do with this money here? I worked hard for it, and now how do I want to spend it? So as you're trying on clothes or going through their housewares or their food products or whatever department you're shopping in, you're really being mindful, you're being intentional, and then you're being diligent with the way that you spend that money. There is no longer, for me, going into a store and saying, maybe one day I will use this, so I'll buy it. Or this could be a good gift for somebody down the road, so I'll buy it now. I don't do that unless I really love an item or an item really fits or our household, our family really needs something. And when you start buying that way, you'll realize you'll have more money to use on other things, whether it's saving for an emergency fund or whether it's getting yourself out of debt, or saving for retirement, or traveling, or saving for your kids' college education. The more money that you have each pay period when you get paid to do the things that you want to do with versus paying off an old credit card bill because you made all these decisions in the past and you walked into a store and you said, I am going to buy this, or I put my copay on it for my medical or my doctor's visit, or I put on a health bill for it, or I replaced my roof. All of these things that you do in the past affect how you spend your money that you get paid today. You can no longer get paid today and say, this is where I want my money to go. You have to stop there and pause and say, okay, this is what I did with my money, and this is now how I have to spend it. You're being forced to spend it for your sins of the past or the things you did in the past. So people will say to me, but I pay it off every month. Well, you may, but the Federal Reserve did a study and 55% of Americans do not pay it off every month. And credit card debt is the most expensive kind of debt that you can possibly have. So those food purchases, the clothing, the medical, the home repairs, all of those things that you are charging and not able to pay off every month, the interest rate is killing you. You're barely, maybe not you specifically, but people are barely able to make their minimum payments in some situations because their credit card balances are so high and the interest rate is killing them, and that's not what I want for you. I want you to be able to buy something today and actually pay for it and buy it, whether it's using cash or your debit card. Right now, our country and our world is really in this crisis. And if you are the type that have been using your credit card and now you've been furloughed or laid off or a reduction in hours because of the crisis, now you're finding those credit card statements are coming in the mail and you have to pay for them. Versus if you had paid cash or used your debit card from the beginning, you wouldn't owe anybody that money now. So the little money that either you are getting paid or the money that you have in your emergency fund, or if you're now receiving unemployment, that money doesn't have to go to paying a credit card company. The other question that I get a lot is, well, I get a lot of rewards. I pay it off every month. That's how we fly. That's how we stay in hotels. I like the store rewards. I use this TJ Maxx credit card. I shared with you that every $200 I spent, I got $10 in rewards, and I love that. I loved getting that envelope in the mail and then taking my $10 reward certificate into TJ Maxx and using it on something else. I would even be shopping and say, well, I'm spending about $150, $160 today, so why don't I add a couple more things to my cart, get up to that $200 so I can earn $10. That math doesn't even make sense. That's not even logical. I'm going to spend 40 or 50 so I can get $10. Or in other cases, if you're doing it for your rewards points for miles for airline, how many thousands of dollars worth of merchandise are you putting on that card, or medical bills or food for your family to be able to fly? Wouldn't you much rather save cash for a vacation and cash flow your vacation and know that you didn't do this because of credit card debt that you incurred? Or maybe you're of the mindset that you work really hard and you deserve a vacation, so you're going to put it on your credit card and it doesn't matter what it costs you because you'll just pay for it slowly over time. That's also harmful to your financial health because now you're paying a lot of interest on a vacation when you could have cash flowed a vacation and then taken that money, instead of charging it, put it towards your debt or put it towards your savings or your emergency fund or your kids' college or all the other things that I have outlined earlier in this video. Other people ask me, well, what about my credit score? Well, what does credit score measure? It measures your debt. It measures how much debt you have. It measures how much open credit you have. It measures how good you are at paying back that debt. And all of those are debt indicators. So for my family, our only debt is our mortgage. We pay cash or use our debit card for everything else. So I don't need to have a good credit score. I don't need to know what my credit score is because I don't have any debt besides my mortgage. I'm not trying to take out any loans, finance a vehicle, or finance furniture from maybe Raymore and Flanagan or something like that. It doesn't matter what my credit score is. Another question that I get a lot is emergencies. How do I pay for an emergency? I'm used to doing that on my credit card. So let's think about it this way. What I teach is to save $1,000 in an emergency fund before you do anything. Before you start paying down your debt, save $1,000 in an emergency fund. Once you have that saved, then you can start paying down your debt. That way, if an emergency arises, like your dishwasher or washing machine broke and you need to have it fixed or replaced, you can go into that $1,000 and take it out. Tires on your car, need to be replaced. Anything that is under that $1,000, that's why you go into that emergency fund. Now you ask me, well, what if it's something bigger? What if the roof on my house needs to be replaced? Well, what I'll tell you to do is repair what you can with that $1,000 and then work as hard as you can to save up that cash so you can replace your roof by cash flowing it, by paying that contractor cash. When you use cash to pay for something, your decisions are much different. You'll interview more contractors, you'll get more quotes, you'll think more thoughtfully about the materials you're going to use on your roof. You're paying cash for it, so you want it to last a very long time. All these decisions don't really enter into your thought process when you're just handing over a credit card and you're saying, okay, this is a quick and easy fix. Let me go ahead, get a contractor, get the roof replaced, and then I can take this off my plate. I don't have to worry about it, and it's done. There's no pain associated with it. You've eliminated that pain point because you've just swiped that card to handle a situation that you're in, versus really trying to figure out what is the best solution and what is the best scenario for you and your family. So I really hope that this video has persuaded you to stop using a credit card. Put it in the freezer, cut it up, leave it at home, take it out of your wallet. I really urge you, especially during this crisis that our country is facing, to stop using that credit card. Pay for everything with cash, with your debit card. If you are out of work right now, whatever money you have left, use that to do your budget. See how far you can get it to stretch. If you're now collecting unemployment and that's less than your earnings that you're currently getting, how can you, again, stretch that? Take a look at tightening up your budget. What can you get rid of? What subscription services are you currently using? Maybe it's Audible, maybe it's Disney Plus or Hulu or Netflix. Consider eliminating all of these things instead of just keeping them going and keeping them on your credit card and racking up those high interest rates. I really hope you found this video helpful. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay healthy and be well. Thank you. Bye-bye.